the golden heart of humanity, a song of love is offered to all beings. To the great 14th Dalai Lama, our guide, we pray, may your wish-fulfilling teachings flow here, a wind of white peace.
Happiness को शो को लागि 7 बाट स्टार्ट हुँदैछ आज यहाँ लस एन्जलसमा
From the hidden chambers of our hearts, let boundless compassion rise and flow.
ए सबै रिजर्भ यो चाहिँ भिआइपी लाइन हो
Your call reminds us self is not
रिचार्ड गिरी आउनु हुँदैछ आज
and gently leads us on the noble path through the timeless wisdom.
ए लाइनमा बसिसक्यो हाम्रो वेस्टर्नमा ह्याप्पिनेस हेर्ने दर्शकहरू चाहिँ यसरी बसिसक्यो
Peace our gift.
A wind of white peace, carry your blessings across the world, from the hidden chambers of our heart.
यहाँसम्मको लाइनमा बसेको छ है
A wind of white peace, carry your blessings across the world, from the hidden chambers of our hearts.
अब रिचार्ड गिरी आउनु हुँदैछ वेलकमको लागि रेडी छ वेलकमको लागि रेडी सबैजना एउटा रिचार्ड गिरी वेलकमको लागि रेडी वाट्सअप अब रिचार्ड गिरी आउनुहुन्छ
Teacher of virtue and joy, inspire all hearts toward From the golden heart of humanity, a song of love is offered to all beings. To the great 14th Dalai Lama, our guide, we pray, may your wish-fulfilling carry your blessings across the world, from the hidden chambers of our hearts, let boundless compassion rise and flow.
this for you. He's from Kazakh.
Good, honey.
He's from Tibet. This is metal currency from long time ago.
How long ago?
From 359 it was used. This is the silver coin from independent Tibet. So here we are.
Here's a coin from independent Tibet.
Peace, our gift.
A wind of white peace, carry your blessings across the world from the hidden chambers of our hearts. Let boundless compassion rise and flow. A wind of white peace, carry your blessings across the world from the hidden chambers of our hearts. Let boundless compassion rise and flow. Om Vajrakuru. From this song of devotion we offer, spread peace throughout.
You want to be on the picture?
Limitless
Come on.
Yeah, she's a team member. Can you give her?
joy, inspire all hearts toward kindness and freedom.
Thank you so much.
Pala.
I'm so excited to bring up our guests for the evening, this Q&A. We have directors Philip Delaquy and Barbara Miller joining us today. We have our moderator Jess Hunley from Tashin's Library of Esoterica and executive producer Richard Gere. Take it away.
I'm going to say we just met each other because I wasn't going to see the film, but I got sucked into it again. I could not stop watching it. I love this movie.
It's an incredible experience, and to first off, thank you for sharing it with us and creating it. And thank you all for being here. I just want to very quickly thank this and staff of this place. It's an incredible nonprofit campus for ideas and dialogue, and it has been here since 1935, functioning in that form. So if you have not come here before, come again. It's a magical place and a perfect place to gather and learn together with this film. So, thank you. I'm going to start with you because I know that this is, a culmination of a long relationship that you've had with His Holiness, and I also know that you're more than the executive producer. This is a project that was really a creative collective between you and Oren and Barbara and Philippe. So maybe if you could speak a bit to your first viewing of, I believe, of the interview that Barbara had done, and how it all began to evolve from there.
I like to look at the faces after this film when the lights come on. Because the world seems a little different for a while. Just, good things seem very possible. And I don't want to destroy that here by talking too much. Sometimes talking takes away from deeper feelings. I forget where this phrase comes from, but the simplicity that we seek is on the other side of complication. It's hard won. It's not easy to get there. But His Holiness is able to explain extremely complex things in a very simple way. I can't do that. I sound like an idiot when I do that. But He's able to say things in an extremely simple way that a child can hear, or the man who sweeps the floor, or the woman who reads. Or he could talk to a world leader at their level, or he could talk to a Harvard professor of philosophy or psychology at their level. But in the end, because he embodies it so much, that he can do it in this simple way. So to me, this movie is the tip of an iceberg. So we're experiencing the tip, but the resonances, which are much deeper, come along with the film. I think that's one of the powers of what these guys have done and what we were able to do together. That to allow it to be that simple and that direct, and never violate the impulse of His Holiness to keep it this simple when He's talking to what I think He must know is going to be a large audience, a general audience that can be touched and moved and empowered. You know, I see this film very much as a call to action. I don't see this as a passive meditation. But I think the subtext of what His Holiness is always saying is, if you want these things, if you want peace, if you want wisdom, if you want love in your life, you have to make it. And you have to be in the world. You have to change the world. Not to be skillful and not do it through violence and anger, which we see never works in the end, just creates more chaos. But still to have the power to engage the world. It was more obvious with someone like Gandhi, who was actively in the world engaging in a very profound and dramatic way, very operatic way. His Holiness's approach is not like that, but it's still with courage, be in the world, work with people with great intelligence, with wisdom, but always with a warm heart, with great skill, great, profound skill.
Conspiracy. But with this film, Call to Action in Switzerland, many other countries like Germany, Czech Republic, Hungary, Spain, we were seeing very conservative people that would be politically on the other end of our values coming to the film, and also in parliamentarian context, it was well, here it was.
Stick it in. So thank you so much for that. This was really so on time. It was really so on time. This event was really on time. And I'm reminded by one of the things that he said when he was talking towards the end about the otherness that we kind of self-impose on one another. He said something to the effect of like, you know, I'm Tibetan or I'm Chinese or whatever, these kind of structurally imposed identifications with each other that end up becoming divisive. And I'm reminded of a scripture by the lost book of Thomas in the Bible, where Jesus supposedly says that in the end days, I will come to mend all divisions. Like he talked about how this is the truth of genuine immortality, is to mend what has been separated. And so I just wanted to share that and just say I'm really honored I was able to be here tonight. So grateful for the panel and the discussion, and just what a perfectly timely piece of work. Thank you so much.
This would speak to how you captured the B-roll and some of the nature photography, especially that installation of the large photographs with the shadowed people looking at the images. I'd love to hear your creative process and how you captured those. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We were just very lucky to find this venue, and they were open enough to let us shoot there. It was really cold, but yes, that's how we did it.
Yeah, and I mean, Manuel, we didn't mention, he's the still photographer. We have a lot of photos in the film from him, and for the really first time he did cinematography. So he really, the way how he was shooting the images was really, you know, like putting the camera and it's there and it's observing. And he went to Ladakh, which is the place where His Holiness is going to be as close to Tibet as possible. He went to Croatia, which is the last shot with the installation at the sea. Yeah, so I mean, it was really all over the world. He was shooting in India, in Switzerland, at the glaciers. Yeah, and that's how we collected different images and different. We always try to find images that reflects the wisdom and also the feeling that the Dalai Lama tries to give us, and to enwave it together to this documentary or this film or this immersive experience.
Sorry.
I don't know if you can hear. Can you guys hear? No.
I will project. I am also an actor. Hold on. I was suggesting to showcase it in the prison systems in the U.S.
In the prison system.
Yes. And then my question, as a filmmaker, a documentarian, documentary is so hard. And so I'm wondering if you guys had any points of losing faith. How did you get back into your faith as to this beautiful end goal that we see tonight?
As we were mentioning before, the day we had the interview, we were preparing for 2 days, you know, with the crew, Indian crew. We had to get up to the mountains, to Dharamsala, bringing all the stuff up with the Swiss crew, doing everything perfectly. And when the Dalai Lama entered the room, Manuel and the staff said, wow, today he's not feeling really well, because he was sick 2 days before. And we prepared 3-4 hour interviews with a lot of questions, and in the end they said us, you only have an hour. So I mean, you're there and you know you have to get, it's a whole pressure, but I mean, the way how he is there, he is so open, he was so concentrated, he was so clear-minded. So I mean, it was really a gift to have this hour, but that also meant for us that we had to search for all these in-betweens to be able to tell a story of 90 minutes. And we went through all the most important speeches the Dalai Lama has done all over the world, finding the right words, finding the right tonality, how he is saying things, because he can say it so differently. And sometimes his voice is really loud, sometimes it's just whispering. So it needed a lot of time and a lot of energy to find these right pieces. So I mean, we often were there like having this feeling of, wow, we can't make it to 90 minutes. And then again, you find this incredible piece, or Manuel is coming back with these wonderful images, and then you're like, yes. And I mean, it was the same with the archive material. I mean, we have seen a lot of these films which are done, and we always have seen that the quality of the archival material is not so good. And we were so struggling with it, you know, to have images which aren't so, you don't feel it like if it's from today. And then having this box, this occasion to find this material which is so, I mean, it looks like when we saw it for the first time on the big screen in the color grading studio, we were blown away. It looks like, because it's film, and if it's digital as well, it's like from today, because the quality of film rolls. It's not just digital, it's really film. So I mean, these were all these moments, you know, from up and down, up and down.
And also when it comes to editing, well, first, for 2 years we were just listening to speeches, and you know, for example, in the end, with these 2 wings you can fly, he only said that once. So it was such like you were for days and days listening, transcribing, reading, and then suddenly you find one sentence that says it all. It's about reducing complexity. And then in the editing, to find a good balance of not being too negative, not being too depressive, still have hope. That never ends. We for 2 years we have been editing, and then what Richard calls a rough cut.
It was a rough cut. Many of them are older and gone through that process right here. You were in the 16th century, and now you're in the 21st. But I think that's part of the story and part of the import, the jewel of this. This is a cultural phenomenon. The Dalai Lama didn't come out of the US. It came out of this extraordinary culture. And when you say the 14th Dalai Lama, yeah, no, he is the 14th Dalai Lama. This is evolutionary. He couldn't exist without Tibet. But now he's bigger than Tibet. He became bigger than Tibet. He became all of our Dalai Lama. He became universal. And I know in some ways it's hard for the Tibetans to give him to the world, isn't it? He's ours. But you found a way to do it and embrace that the Dalai Lama belongs to everyone now.
Answer continue भइरहेछ
In the 20th century, into the 21st century, but having the knowledge and the history, and then to be able to offer it in the way that we
I was really taken by the Dalai Lama's talking about the feminine leadership. And so I was really curious as a filmmaker myself, what question did you ask to begin that conversation so that he would really talk about the divine feminine and embodying it, whether you're masculine or feminine.
A man or a woman.
Right, no matter what.
Absolutely have that kind of energy.
You do.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, the first story was really the one about my mother, and then I asked him, how he sees the role of women in the world, and this is how he started to talk about it. And I mean, it's a thing that, of course, we studied a lot of what are his core messages before, what should we ask, and the Dalai Lama is a person which his whole life really did so much for women, and when a political leader, a president was elected, he wrote a letter to encourage the women, and he did so much for the nuns in Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, who didn't have a chance to get higher in the ladder, in the hierarchy, and nowadays they are able. And I mean, this idea that he says the next Dalai Lama could be female. I mean,
Talk about that.
I
want to know that.
Yeah, he really, he mentioned it, I think, 2 or 3 times in his life, and it's really important for him because he thinks time is ready, and it would be so beautiful, for example, if the Pope would say also something like that. I mean,
I was just going to say that. Time for the priests to be women as well.
His Holiness has said, just to follow up on that he's often said, in balance between men and women, it's probably easier for women to become enlightened because of that basic sense of love and selflessness, frankly, that women have to a more predominant degree than men naturally do.
Do you think that's brain chemistry?
Yeah.
Hormones.
Yeah.
Thanks to estrogen.
I mean, there are other problems associated with it where every woman knows.
Because you guys were asking for feedback. If His Holiness had a chance to watch the film and had any feedback?
Yeah, Tensha, you have to come up and tell me. Tensha showed it to His Holiness.
Yes, while His Holiness
was here in the States recovering from the knee surgery. He was staying in a private residence upstate in New York. And at that time, Philip and Barbara and Richard sent the film over to
We were
show His
desperate,
Holiness.
of course, to hear what he had to say.
But I'm afraid I don't have much to say. His Holiness wasn't really interested in seeing himself. I knew that, so I marked all the places where he would see his friends and the old...
All the old footage.
All the old footage. So yes, the playing the so I moved it forward and showed him all the very enjoyed seeing that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much to the three of you for bringing this film into the world.
Yeah.
And I also just want to take this opportunity to the real call to action. You all have your information here, and maybe if you could just, to wrap this up, speak to the ways that we can help to take action and support Tibet.
Ted should. I like hearing you talk. I talk all the time.
I think, thank you, all of you, coming to watch this film. I think for us, for Tibetans especially, this film is very poignant and really, and I think of all the young Tibetans, and especially the Tibetans inside Tibet who have not seen this film yet. And I hope this will be really precious for them because they get to see and learn who His Holiness is. So I think that's really precious. I'm president of International Campaign for Tibet, and Richard is the chairman of our board of directors and is my boss.
She's my boss. Don't believe her for a second.
But International Campaign for Tibet is an organization that was created, grassroots organization that's supported by people who have been touched by His Holiness, who've been touched by Tibetans, Tibetan culture, and who want to do something to help Tibet. So what we do is we advocate for Tibet in governments around the world. So I'm based in Washington, D.C. We have also offices internationally in Germany and then in Amsterdam and Brussels. And to learn more, our website is savetibet.org. So please
SaveTibet.org.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just to emphasize, really the focus of the work is the Tibetans inside of Tibet. You know, there are, what are we saying, 6.5, 7 million Tibetans. As His Holiness said, over 1 million were killed in that first decade of the invasion. And Tibet is completely locked up now. Nobody gets out. It used to be that there were 3,000 to 4,000 a year would walk out with great harm, walking over the Himalayas to get to Nepal or Himachal Pradesh or Arunachal Pradesh to India. No one is getting out now. It's completely locked up. And tourists aren't really going. Certainly politicians are not going. Reporters are not going. Reporters, journalists tell me it's easier to get into North Korea than Tibet. So it's a desperate situation for them right now, and the focus of our work is for them.
In diaspora outside of Tibet, there are about 120,000 Tibetans outside that are spread over. And we have a small Tibetan community also in Southern California, in the Los Angeles area here. And you see this year we're celebrating the Dalai Lama's 90th as a year of compassion. And our Tibetan friends here have, and as you enter the hall, you see the altar and the decorations, and there's also panels about His Holiness's life. that our friends have come here, and they would also very much like to offer a kata, which is a Tibetan way of greeting for our filmmakers and for Richard for coming here and being with us and for sharing this beautiful film here. So I have the president of the Tibetan Association of Southern California, Namdala. President Pamela is vice president here.
Actually, so on behalf of Tibetan Association of Southern California, and as a Tibetan, I would like to thank the filmmakers for making this amazing and beautiful film. Right, it's truly inspirational, very timely, and we wish it would go to the White House. Maybe it will, who knows? But anyway, on behalf of all the Tibetans in the diaspora, 6 million Tibetans in Tibet, we'd like to thank Richard for his lifetime of dedication, loyalty. Tibetans actually call him Richard Gere. So, Richard Gere, thank you so much for all your love, support, and a lifetime of seriously 45 years, imagine 45 years of non-stop support and love for Tibet. So we'd like to thank Richard, and then Barbara and Philip. It was truly a pleasure to meet you guys today. We're a small.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us tonight, and spread the word, the good word of wisdom and love. Good night, everyone.
That guy with the white hair.